even though I'm not used to do these kinds of things in French. I'm not used to having to speak so fast in English. So bear with me, please. Can you hear me? Yes. Good. Okay. I started using pictograms in installations in the end of the 90s because pictograms were what we see on the doors of toilets, and because it seemed to me that it was the best, most simple, and most ambiguous and perverse way to talk about important things of life. The first one is called perpetuation. This is Schizo Man. Schizo Man has been in many places. Some of my friends have Schizo Man on their shirts and jackets, and it's a way of presenting themselves to others. After Schizo Man, this is from a big installation in the Gallery Museum in Paris at the beginning of the Iraqi War, and it's called AWOL. And to get to the Salle de Vent, you have to walk over the dead. And it was very high heels on the dead, walking along. And this was it's adhesive, temporary. Then I started using the same technique, and it got very messy. This is 18 pieces in a series about a shaman as the artist who goes through hell, and this is messy and it's on blood. This is pig's blood, and this is all an introduction to talk to you about something else. This is in Max Lang Gallery in New York, and it was a mixture of two bodies of work, one called Fragmenta, which is apocalyptic, and the other is these robots, which are the sort of more contemporary pictogram, sort of television pictogram. Okay, so this is the beginning of the other part of the presentation, which is I had to make them fly, to move. I needed film, and this is runners. These are all 20-second little cuts of longer films, and this is called Texas 5. You work, you get home, you make love, you go to sleep, and you see they're making love there. Working. And this is, I was doing a lot of painting at the same time. What was interesting to me was this notion of simultaneous stuff. This is really 20 seconds is really fast. This is one of the first ones, which is called Urbanopolis. And as you see everyone's changing, their families are reconstructing. If you follow, babies are left and refound, and people get there and they have to go back. So this was sort of the beginning. It gets really hysterical in the 1970s, this one. And it comes out. This is called Roads, and it was a secondary film to a film that was bought by Fiat, and I did this because I was frustrated with what I did with them. It's also, it's a certain hysterical quality to my work. You see, now that I look at it, I haven't realized that. And then we have, what's the next? Oh, this one, yes. This is a very recent, it was finished last week, and it's a random film. It's a computer program which generates all this sort of weird stuff on the side. In the beginning, it was all coagulated here, and so we had a problem getting them to disperse over there. They all wanted to hang out here. Had to get them over there. So then, and they're also on buttons. You sell buttons sometimes. Sell buttons, so you can have Schizo Man with you if you want. Okay, so all that is the introduction to something else, which I'll start now, which is in June I was contacted over the internet by a woman who's an advisor for the UN, and she wanted to use this image, which is rape, and another image from the beginning called perpetuation, because she deals with women victims of war around the world. And I suggested that we work together, and we never met. We met for half an hour in Paris once, and I worked with her to make a film. And the film is called UN 1325, and it's a resolution that was not really applied by the UN Security Council for women around the world victims of war. And we ran fast, and in I did the first storyboard on a napkin, and we had a lot of discussions written, but we've only met twice. And I developed this film, which went viral on the 20th of October, this October, and we have almost 150,000 hits as of today. And the objective is a guerrilla act to inspire the UN and governments around the world to apply this resolution, which has not really been applied. So it's been a sort of manic, very fast art action, and we are, well, what do you do if there's too much time? Okay. So we had a debate in the end, which was that the only sort of problem we had was that because of the way I had constructed this film, it was symmetric, and in the end, it had to be positive. She wanted a positive film because all films on this subject are always negative, and she wanted to show that it was possible that the women could, in fact, not be victims and could, if they got together, kick away the territorial boundaries and get rid of the arms. But we had a problem because there's not enough representation, so we had to have big women's voices to equal voices so that there would be an equal number of potential votes in these countries and in legislature to enact these resolutions. Okay. Then after that, I did a film, this is a piece, I don't have the film here, which draws that out very fine. This is a zoom, and we'll have, like you saw in the beginning, very, very little ones where there are scenes of war and the same thing you saw as a big one, little ones and little places where women will have wiped that out. This is the film which is now working on now, which is, now we're dealing on refugees. And this is the next film. You're the first to see this. This is not done. It's the sort of precursor to the film that will follow, UN 1325.